Graduates and guests, can I please ask you all to stand and to give a round of applause for your senior officers of the University of Liverpool.
Please be seated. I declare this congregation for the celebration of our graduates open. So good morning, everyone, and welcome to your graduation ceremony. It's great to see you here at long last in person after what some of you have been a very long delayed journey. So I'm Professor Tom Whalley. I'm the APVC for Clinical Research, and I'm standing in here for the EPVC of the Faculty of Health and Life Sciences. Louise Kenny, you can't be here today. Universities just love titles, as you've discovered. So I want to say what a great privilege it is to be here, and a pleasure to see you here today as you celebrate this important milestone in your life with your family and your friends and your fellow students, with your lecturers, and with other people who've supported you on your journey to graduating from the University of Liverpool. So your graduation day is one to celebrate your achievements, your family and friends, and maybe to reflect. This is a bit unusual in that we have such a diversity of people here today. And if you'll forgive me, I'm going to take time to read out the list because we have 19 different courses represented here today. And I think every single one of you need to be acknowledged appropriately. So we have people who've completed the course in Advanced Practice in Healthcare, NBCHB, Biostatistics, Cancer Medicine, Cellular Molecular Physiology, Child Health, 2 Dentistry undergraduates, well, postgraduates now, and 1 doctor in Dentistry, 3 in Diagnostic Radiography, Eye and Vision Science, Health Science, Musculoskeletal Biology, Nursing, Occupational Therapy, Organ Transplantation, Orthoptics, Radiotherapy, Renal Transplantation Service, Virology, and Women's Health. So if you're keeping count, it's 19. I apologize if I've left anyone out, but it reflects the full diversity of pretty well everything we do in the faculty in one form or another. But even with such a diversity of learning outcomes and future plans, there's a lot that you have in common, not least perhaps how you feel on a day like this. So when I was in your position, which I have to say is a long, long time ago, I had very mixed feelings. On the one hand, I was proud and relieved to be finished my university studies. I was a bit apprehensive of what the world was going to hold for me because I didn't quite know how things were going to go. And a bit sad that this whole chapter of my life had changed, was over. I was moving on to other things. But for you, of course, it's been very different because you've been students, and many of you are now health professionals, at a time like no other in history. So students in universities all over the country and all around the world have been very hard hit by the disruption to their education that the pandemic has caused. And you've suffered all that. You've become experts on receiving online delivery of education. And most importantly, many of you have developed online communities of learners. And your whole university experience has been very different compared to what you had imagined and expected and hoped for. And we know that many times this has felt extremely tough and difficult for you. Your experience and your well-being were always at the forefront of our thoughts around how we made decisions around how to manage your courses. But over the past 2 years, we've had to balance and so many decisions around your teaching arrangements and even your safety on campus. So we know it's not been easy for you. We know you've had long days, sleepless nights, difficult times, exacerbated by these hopefully unique global circumstances. Now, COVID-19 has devastated and divided people, and it's not over yet. But it's also shown some of the best of human spirit in all kinds of ways. And as a faculty, we pride ourselves on facing the problems of society and putting our hands up to say we're willing to help with them. And you, as our students and our graduates, are no different. Some of you reading postgraduate degrees have continued with your studies while continuing to work in your respective clinical environments, dealing with exhaustion and no doubt the stress of your jobs. That's no small feat. We have a large number of nursing, medicine and other health graduates here today who have modelled the highest values of your professions, your noble professions. You've shown care, you've shown compassion, respect, and expertise. You're the people who stepped up when it was needed. You're the people who went in to help the NHS and the people we serve during the worst of the pandemic. You did this at difficult times. You undertook your clinical placements in the most difficult of circumstances, when there was no vaccination program, or the vaccination program was just getting off the ground, when personal protection equipment was in short supply or inappropriate in all kinds of ways, and when no one knew exactly where we were going. So you're the people who stepped up at the most critical and vulnerable time in the whole history of the NHS since its foundation. And over the past 2 years, we've received lots of messages and acknowledgements of that from our NHS partners and from Health Education England, expressing their thanks and appreciation for all of your work and praise for the quality of those endeavours which contributed so much to the pandemic response. Had you waited, my next line was, you will know of the enormous respect and warmth that the average woman and man in the street has for you, and truly you have been NHS and even University of Liverpool heroes, but you've all clapped already, so we'll move on. So whatever discipline you represent here today, one thing is for sure, every single one of you as students, and in many cases now as health professionals, you've shown remarkable spirit and dedication. You've demonstrated your learning throughout all of this. You've persevered with commitment, with resilience and flexibility. You didn't do it alone, although no doubt there have been many lonely and even scary times for you in the past 2 years. You did it by supporting one another and by being supported by your family and friends and by your lecturers and tutors. And we in the university, and I speak here for the whole university, we're immensely proud of the manner in which you demonstrated courage, adaptability, perseverance, and a real commitment to your studies. And we're inspired by you and by what you've achieved. And I would invite your family and friends here today to acknowledge that with a round of applause. Now, today is all about you, all about your achievements and your personal successes here at the University of Liverpool. But it's also a day to look forward to the future and to feel excited about your aspirations and your career or your future study plans. One thing the pandemic has certainly shown us is that we really don't know what lies around the corner, but that advances in science and in health, in particular in health and life sciences, will be essential to help us deal with the future. The woman and the man on the street, again, understand this as they never have before. Everybody's become an expert in R numbers and exponential curves and clinical trials. So whether it's the risk of a future pandemic or some of the other challenges we're going to face around the realities of climate change or the threat posed by antimicrobial resistance, it's clear that we're going to face a lot more challenges in the future, and that you, as scientists and health professionals and in your future careers, you're going to have to face those challenges too. But I am confident, looking at you and knowing the skills and knowledge you've developed over the past 3 years and longer in many cases, that you are fully capable of that. And I'm grateful to that as someone who's going to need your help before too long at my advanced age. And I don't talk about the pandemic to dampen spirits on a day which should be about celebration and anticipation, but I raise it in the spirit of optimism and of gratitude for what you've achieved and what you're going to achieve in the future. You know that we need researchers and practitioners in physical and mental health, in infectious diseases, in all the disciplines I've listed before, and the world recognizes this like never before. In your professional careers, you're going to see new problems and even new diseases come and go. When I graduated in medicine a long time ago, no one had ever heard of HIV disease. No one had even identified the HIV virus. That took some time after that. And today, after HIV was basically a fatal diagnosis for many years, it still remains a difficult diagnosis. It's not curable yet, but it is manageable, and it's compatible with a normal life expectancy. When I qualified, the average life expectancy of a woman with breast cancer was 41 months, and about 35% 5-year survival. The figure today is 76% 10-year survival. So not conquered, but we're getting better at it, and that's thanks to advances in science. So what's going to change in your professional careers? Well, COVID-19 didn't exist when most of you started university, or at least we didn't know about it if it did. And it's not a problem we've solved yet, and it's probably got more twists to come. But medical science has advanced to improve the outlook enormously over the past 12, 18 months. And certainly during your career, there'll be new technologies. Hopefully, patient outcomes will improve in many diseases and many conditions, in particular as the NHS moves from being a disease treatment service to a disease prevention service. And most of you, many of you, will certainly spend your careers in the NHS. And as someone who's worked in the NHS for over 40 years, it's not always an easy place to work in. And we work in it because we have enormous pride in what it achieves, what it will achieve and what it can achieve. And I know many of you will want to be part of that and ensure that the NHS remains the best health service in the world. But some things won't change for you. I'll flag out a couple of those. The first of those is the need to be a lifelong learner, just as you have been during the pandemic. So for the rest of your career, you need to commit yourself to always being curious, always learning new things, to asking questions and always trying to do things better. And part of that, particularly as a clinician, is forgiving yourself when you make a mistake, because you will. We all make mistakes, but learn from the mistakes. And just as you should always be a learner, so too you should always be a teacher. Pass on your skills and your experiences to your colleagues and to the next generation of students. The second is the need to support one another, as you have done during the pandemic, as friends and as colleagues, because you and we and all of us here share the same aim of improving the health and well-being of people, whether that's in Liverpool or more widely. And the third is never to compromise on your core values. Never compromise on your honesty, your integrity, or your willingness to go the extra mile, which is what your patients will often ask of you. So these are qualities you've displayed in abundance in the past 12 to 18 months, and these will stand you in good stead for the rest of your career. My one final piece of advice to you is enjoy your work and your career. It's a great thought knowing every morning when you get out of bed, and it gets you out of bed sometimes, that what you do is actually really important. So let's all celebrate here together. You should thank your family and friends, because you may have been the ones who've worked your way through the university in some form, but they've been on the journey with you too. They too have shared your ups and your downs. And the pandemic has made us truly appreciate our loved ones and the experiences and memories we hope made together. So I want to celebrate the role that your loved ones, and I hope many of them are here today as your guests, have played in all of that. And I'd like you to thank them for their support and personal sacrifice, and this is a day of celebration for them too. So graduates, let me ask you to applaud your family and friends. And let's also thank your lecturers and your teachers, some of whom are here today, who provided you the training and the support to become practical, compassionate and resilient in your chosen career, with the qualities and skills that are needed to be successful in today's demanding world, and even more in tomorrow's, where we don't quite know what exactly it's going to look like. So we hope that today is a day for you to enjoy a return to this great city, and for you and your guests to receive a warm welcome here from the university. We hope that the city of Liverpool always feel like home to you, whether it was home before you came to the university, or you've made it your home now, or whenever you come back here. We hope that whatever your relationship with the city, it'll be a place that you've made friends and made memories that will last a lifetime. Our Victoria building, that's the one with the clock tower and red brick you saw in the film earlier, is now a gallery, and so probably serves as our most recognizable backdrop in maybe in some of your graduation photographs today. It gave rise, of course, to the very term Red Brick University, and Liverpool is the very original Red Brick University. Now, as a student here, you've walked past that building lots of times. You've walked past a plaque on it, but you may never have actually noticed it, but I see it's on some of the posters on the way over here today. It is that the purpose of the university is for the advancement of learning and the ennoblement of life. And that's the foundation on which the university was built, and it's a motto that guides us in everything we do. Our aim is to inspire, engage, and enable every one of you to fulfill your potential by hopefully raising your awareness, by helping you to challenge barriers, and by providing opportunities for you. You have truly advanced your learning, and you have and you will continue to ennoble life. You've been stretched beyond the textbook, the lecture theatre, the clinical laboratory, and you've been encouraged to apply that knowledge to the world around you. Your University of Liverpool education has enabled you just to realise how far you can go and provided you with the skills you need to get there. Our university has a long and successful history of graduating inspiring students like you who go on to achieve fantastic things. And you've now joined our talented community of past graduates. That's a fundamentally important part of the university and supports our students in lots of ways. You may have experienced some of this, people giving lectures or tutorials or work placements or whatever. And we hope that, like many of our past students, you'll stay in touch with us and help and guide and support our future students and help them to broaden their horizons through your experiences. Because it's through you that the university is known. You are our greatest ambassadors, and it's through your achievements and your careers you will become the role models and the source of inspiration for the next generation of graduates. Despite all the difficulties you've had and all the challenges, I hope that you'll remember many happy and joyful moments during your time at the University of Liverpool. Never forget how important you are to the university. You are the lifeblood of the university. Without you, what is the university except lecture theatres, red bricks? We're nothing really without you. When we work together, the university is where discoveries are made, ideas formed, friendships made, lives changed. And when we work together as staff and students, that's when education becomes truly transformational. So on behalf of the university, I'd like to thank you for all you've achieved and all you've contributed to the university over the past few years, and we wish you all good luck and every success in the future. Thank you. So at this point, I invite the presenting officer to present the graduates from our class of 2021. But I'd like to acknowledge the presenting officer, because many of you won't know that Denise Prescott was promoted to Professor Prescott on Monday. So congratulations to you, Denise. So I now invite Professor Prescott, Dean of the School of Health Sciences, to present graduates from our class of 2021.
Thank you. Pro-Vice-Chancellor, it gives me tremendous pleasure to present to you the following graduates from the class of 2021. Jennifer Entwistle. Charlotte Orme. Eloise Lamb. Caris Taylor. Molly Lydia McNeil. Rachel Elizabeth Davison. Aya Kamiz Mohammed Al-Zidi. Natasha Biller. Jennifer Singleton. Olivia Rose Hanley. Grace Elizabeth Walker. Georgina Angelina Owens. Kieran Madigan. Lauren Ellen Hother. Odessica Nicole Hughes. Rina Abdul Kadir. Adam Janvier. Michael Scotto Di Masse. Thank you. Evan Owen. John Knox. Sarah Judith Humphreys. Hannah Rose Warren. Ana Muniz Garcia. Masume Mausavinajad. Ashma Krishan. Diego Lomas. Molly Evans. Elizabeth Turkin. Nishita Tom. Nathan Davis. Louise Collins. Danielle O'Loughlin. Tabitha Duncan. Lucia? Eden Lucia Fabri. Isabel Francesca Whalen. Faith Naylor. Molly Davis. Rebecca Grace Smith Bramley. Helen Barr. Luke Moore. William Bedson. Orla Bright. Samuel Allen Morgan Greenwood Wilson. Laura Elif. Matthew Ruffley. Kamal Iqbal. Neil Peter Thomas. Sajawal Bashir. Rital Patel. Reena Patel. Alicia Halliday. Roshni Rathore. Joy Dulce de Souza. Sanjog Vastola. Surya Panika Rajiv. Caroline Stevens. Leanne Wells. Gemma Dillon. Sarah O'Rourke. Laura Jane McHale. Good morning. Samuel Hind. Good morning. Amy Catherine McDermott. Good morning. Roche. Rebecca Roche. Good morning. Oh. Rebecca Louise Joy Penrith Randall. Nice and straightforward. Ellie Russo. Good morning. Connor James Naylor. Emma Wilkinson. Alice Fortune. Charlotte Lucy Hankinson. Elizabeth Down. Etienne Nellie Dove Smith. Julien Zhao. Julien Zhao. Faye Marie Platt. Chloe Elizabeth Charlotte Williams. Robin Chilton. Charlotte Rugg Gunn. Jessica Pierpoint. Ariana Narici. Molly Cole. Natasha Kate Crow. Catherine Anna Elston. Jessica Morris. Ashira Hibbert. Lucy Rose Sanders. Humaira Aslam. Good morning. Juliet Angel. Good morning. Emily Sarah Horan. Sophie Gibson. Ailish Bogan. Beth Alice Webber. Bethany Horrocks Taylor. Rachel Kekoff. Maria Eleanor Bedford. Last but not least, Bonita Clark.
So now I'd like to invite Molly Evans to join us on stage to reflect on her student experience. So, Molly.
So, Vice-Chancellor, distinguished guests, family, friends and fellow graduates, good morning. I'm Molly and I'm qualifying today with a degree in nursing. I am honoured to have the opportunity to speak today, and when I was first asked to speak, I was daunted by the idea and didn't know where to start. But as I started to think and write about my time as a nursing student, I found a multitude of emotions that have led us here to celebrate today that I'm sure everyone here in this room can relate to. So I would just like to say congratulations to my fellow students, well, graduates now. We made it and we should be so proud. And today we get to celebrate our hard work, determination and achievements. What an experience this degree has been. It's been a journey like no other. There's been a few bumps along the road, but here we are. We've had the opportunity to experience university to its fullest, but also experience new learning curves and adapted to a different way of learning altogether. We've had the joys of online learning and all the technical difficulties that go along with it. But we still managed to keep on going. We as healthcare professionals have experienced a time in clinical practice like no other, and because of it, we're resilient. We as nurses have a unique perspective because of the work that we do. The differences we make in our patients' lives, no matter how big or small. The hope we encourage will always be a privilege, despite our role not always being the most glamorous. Becoming a nurse is a calling, and even on the bad shifts, the one where you find yourself crying in the clinical room, remember why you went into nursing and all the patients and all the families that we've helped along the way. I found a fitting quote by Charles Darwin that says, "Have a heart that never hardens, a temper that never tires, and a touch that never hurts." Truly fitting words for our role. When I first applied for university, I never quite believed I'd get into the University of Liverpool. I visited the campus for my interview and I fell in love with the campus, the people and my degree altogether. I was caught out straight away by my not-so-Scouse accent and I knew that I'd made the right decision. University has helped me grow as both an individual and within my professional role. And it has been 3 years of learning, development and opportunities, and let's face it, tears. My time at university has allowed me to meet some amazing new people. Getting to know everyone in our little cohort meant that help and support was never truly far away. I would like to take this opportunity to personally thank the nursing department for all of your support and encouragement, as I know that without that help I wouldn't be standing here today. The support from the staff never faltered, even during a time where They face challenges in their own lives during a pandemic that turned our degrees completely upside down. You were only ever one Zoom call away. Our nursing department has shown us what good nurses look like and given us the independence to grow and supported us into these roles. I'd also like to say thank you to my parents for being my greatest support throughout these past 3 years, and I'm so glad to be here to celebrate today. Finally, I would like to wish my fellow graduates good luck in the next chapter of your lives and everything that you set out to achieve. Remember that this is not the end and it's only the beginning. Enjoy your celebrations because each and every one of you deserves it. Thank you for the opportunity for speaking today, and I wish you all the very best in your futures.
Molly, thank you very much for that, and thank you on behalf of the staff in the School of Health Sciences. And although that reflects obviously your personal experience, I know many of you will have encountered similar difficulties and overcome them, whatever degree you've been on. So the difficulties you've overcome have made your achievements all the greater. So you've achieved amazing things in the past few years, and you're going to go on to do more amazing things in the future. So I was wondering what I should say on a day like this. So I asked my daughter. My daughter was a graduate in radiography here about 4 years ago. And I asked her, who gave the speech? She said, don't remember. What did he or she talk about? Don't know. Don't remember much about your graduation, do you? Oh yeah, it was brilliant. So I hope you've got a brilliant day too. Congratulations for all you've achieved, even if you don't remember too much of it tomorrow. and well done for everything. So, it now falls to me to close the ceremony. So I declare this congregation for the celebration of our graduates closed. The traditional closing here involves a prayer in Latin. For those of you who don't know it, I'll translate. Salva sit universitas nostra, may our university be protected and grow. Quod precantes consergamus. And praying thus, let us all stand together. So please stand and congratulate our graduates one last time.
Graduates and guests, please stand.